Okay, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. So we're on the eve. Tyson Fury versus Oleksander Usyk, the rematch. And I just got off now watching the press conference just now. I never watched it last night live. I watched a rerun this morning, and I saw a few people talking about it last night. I haven't really watched anyone's videos. I'm gonna watch it after I make my own videos, so my thoughts are fresh. They're my own, like from what I saw. I don't get influenced by anyone listening to any other channel. So what I'm gonna say, what we're gonna talk about, what I'm gonna mention first is the 11-minute stare down, right? It's 11-minute stare down. I believe was staged, right? I think it's staged for the event. I'm not saying it was fake, right? There's a difference. I'm not saying it was fake. I'm saying it was staged. Both guys, I think, more in the know. Like, we want you guys to stand off, and cause a bit of drama. Like, everyone can look at it and think, well, what's going on here? These two guys are not locking. They're moving away. The last thing they want in Saudi Arabia is violence. They don't want these two guys pushing each other, trying to throw a punch. This is the reason why we don't see John Fury. Why John Fury's not in the scene, because they don't want that. They're not taking that approach this time. That's why John is out of it. You ain't seen John, right? They want a different approach. And I think the stare down, where before it was the headbutt, that was the highlight of the event. Now it's this 11-minute stare down, which I believe, again, was staged. I believe it was, they'll put together, say, look, we want you two guys to kind of square off for a little while and try to hold a stare for as long as possible, right? They couldn't the 11-minute stare down. You got to remember to yourself, these two guys did filming together. They've done filming together a few times, right? For the first fight, they probably were in the studios together doing films together. Although I know nowadays we're at the age of technology where sometimes not both of them don't have to be in the same room. They can use CGI and stuff like that. But I do believe at some point them two would obviously be in the same vicinity filming these promos and the build up to the fight, especially the first fight at Riyadh season. Now the rematch there together. Obviously they've done another promo. They've also done promos for the other Riyadh seasons, the build up to their fight. When Anthony Joshua knocked out Chaos, they did a few other promos and that. So you've got to think to yourself, these two guys have been acting together, have been in the same vicinity before. That's why it wouldn't be far-fetched to say that this was staged. There's no animosity here between these two guys, really. All it is they're two heavyweights at the top of their game, and both guys want to be the best of their era. Usyk's taken that first step of winning the first fight. Tyson Fury wants to get his revenge. Now, look, enough about that 11-minute stare down. I'm going to go into my prediction of who I think. Not who I think. Let's just talk about this. Paths to victory, right? Not who I think. I'm going to leave that till last. Paths to victory. There's no point in me even talking about Oleksander Usyk because we saw him defeat Tyson Fury in the first fight. So we saw what Usyk needed to do to win the fight, right? He probably just needs to do a similar thing. Probably in his mind, he needs to do a similar thing. But I'm sure Team Usyk, they covered all corners. No stones unturned. They ain't cutting no corners either. They're going to obviously try and adapt. Maybe if Tyson Fury tries to come in a different way. We've seen Tyson Fury fight a different way, in different styles a few times, like maybe 2 to 3 different styles, herky-jerky, the Kronk style, and then he comes in as this lazy Fury that just wants to lean on you, grab, lean, hold, the inside dirty boxing style. So there's for me, there's like Fury's got 3 looks, right? The herky-jerky, the Kronk, and that inside dirty boxing that he does. So if you look at the first fight with Usyk, I will say Tyson Fury, he obviously tried to come in lean, like he did against Vladimir Klitschko in their fight. He tried to box against the boxer, right? He thought he could outbox Usyk on his toes and stuff like that. Worked out, that ain't the way to beat Usyk, right? Usyk's a come forward fighter. Most of the time you see Usyk come forward. Fury wanted to meet him in the middle and have a little trade with him, but eventually Usyk ended up walking Tyson Fury down. As Fury was on the back foot for most of the fight. He had his moments, like in the mid rounds. I think it was round 5, round 6, when he was catching him with to the body with some body shots and some uppercuts and stuff like that. And when I was watching the fight live, I ain't gonna lie, I actually thought that Tyson Fury might actually pull it off in those mid rounds, but eventually Usyk kind of carried on grinding and then got back to it. And in the 10th round, Usyk had his major round, So look, we know that's not going to work against Usyk. So Tyson Fury's got to look somewhere else. And for me, the inside fighting, Usyk's not a bad grappler himself when it comes to the inside Greco, like a Greco-Roman wrestling style. For those that don't know, Greco-Roman wrestling is it's basically stand-up wrestling, starting from standing position. No, you're not allowed to attack any of the lower limbs. It's all upper body grappling. So it would help anyone that's got any bit of knowledge and any know-how for the Greco-Roman. I think Derek Chisora has a bit of Greco-Roman wrestling experience and stuff like that. It works very well in the clinch. I believe Usyk studied a bit of this. He's got a bit of a know-how, other martial arts. The reason why he's able to fend off Tyson Fury when Tyson tries to lean on him. You can see he doesn't have it at all. He gets out of it, he wriggles out of it. Vasily Lomachenko's another guy who's, you can't get this guy in a clinch. It's hard to clinch with him. He's got a technique. It's not so much strength, it's the technique of the Greco style of upper body wrestling. But anyway, so that might be a bit tricky for Fury. But maybe, we've got to look at how he came in against Deontay Wilder in the second fight, where he was a bit weightier, he was more bulk. He was a bit bulky. He weren't total fat, but it was, not a lean muscle, but there was muscle under the size. He had a bit of muscle. He had a bit of size to him. Put on a bit of size. A lot of people were thinking he was messing around with PEDs and stuff like that, but that's obviously if he didn't test positive, then we can't even go there. But he destroyed Deontay Wilder, smashed him to pieces, right? But obviously Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are two different fighters, so we got to look at it like, he's tried the herky jerky style, tried to box with Usyk, that don't work. Tried to lean on Usyk in that fight as well, didn't work. But then he was a lot lighter than he is now. He's gonna, I don't know. For me, maybe he's got to put Usyk on his back foot. That's what he's got to do. Tyson Fury's got to put Usyk on his back foot, try to bully him a bit like he did Wilder in that second fight, right? Maybe adapt a bit because it's Usyk, it's not Wilder. Again, right? Before you guys start on me in the comments, right? Also, he's got to look at what Derek Chisora did, right? Derek Chisora had success against Usyk in a few of his rounds in their fight at heavyweight. Usyk was green at heavyweight at that time, one of his first fights, second fight at heavyweight. But you have to admit the body shots troubled him, right? Anthony Joshua in their fight, the second fight, the body shots troubled Usyk. Even though Usyk won comfortably, he still got caught with a few good body shots. Daniel Dubois, had him on the canvas, whether you say it was an illegal blow or not, just say the referee, I know it was borderline, just below the belt, some people might say. Some referees in some countries might give that as a legal blow. And we saw Usyk fall straight to the ground and crumble. It wasn't right on the cup. It wasn't on the cup, it was above the cup, but maybe slightly below the navel. But in some countries, some referees might just give that. And we've seen Usyk crumble to the ground. We saw him in the Usyk fight, in his first fight with Tyson Fury, in the mid-rounds when Tyson Fury hurt him to the body. I mean, some of the Usyk fans might say, no, he wasn't hurt, but, I'm going to keep it as it is, as I saw it. And for me, I felt Usyk was hurt in those mid-rounds, right? He recovered very well and got back to it, but I thought Tyson Fury hurt him in, I think it was round 5 or 6. To the body, and eventually caught him with a few uppercuts, which I think Fury will be trying to exploit again. He's obviously looked back at the tape and saw where he had success. He saw where he was looking. Obviously, he looked bad. So obviously, a smart person. I'm sure Tyson Fury. I'm not exactly sure. We know Tyson Fury is not stupid. They're going to look at that and they're going to right. We're going to tighten up the defense where we was going wrong, and where Usyk got through, and what we can do to keep him at bay. But then we're going to try and maximise on what we did, right? On what we did to to push him back on his back foot and hurt him. Because ultimately, that's what I think Tyson Fury has to do. He has to put Usyk on his back foot. We don't really usually see Usyk on the back foot. We see him pressing forward as a come forward fighter in the southpaw stance. Derek had him on his back foot. If you watch through the fight, eventually, you know, he did turn it around. Usyk did turn it around in the later rounds. But Fury's got to do something similar, you know. That's what I believe. Use the uppercut. You get into the body. Try and use his range and attack the body. Again, being careful as well when he's doing that. Also, trying to keep put Usyk on his back foot. Try to get him on his back foot. There are ways of doing it, and I'm sure Tyson Fury and the team, the camp, know. Obviously, I don't know if his jab's quick enough. He's got to use his feint game. Fury's an excellent feint. He's excellent at feinting, but the thing is, Usyk weren't biting on any of his feints. So maybe he needs to let his hands go a little bit, but then Fury's scared of being countered. That's why he doesn't want to let his hands go. He's got to be able to, you know, sit down and work out what he can do, what he needs to do. Maybe lure, set some traps, set a few traps for Usyk. Maybe 2 or 3 traps that he needs to work with. See if he can get Usyk to fall for some of the traps. But yeah, ultimately, that's what it is. As a prediction, I'm still slightly leaning toward Usyk. Slightly leaning toward Usyk. But I won't be surprised if Tyson Fury gets a win. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to be surprised because he's looked at it. I mean, for me, because Tyson Fury's getting on a bit, I think the condition of his body is what's going to let him down or ultimately lose him the fight. It's how he's treated his body over the years and the condition that he's in. That's what I think is going to be the issue with Fury. But if he has a body that's in tip-top condition, no injuries, and you know how he used to be, maybe I'll probably side with Fury for the rematch. But for me, it goes on how well his body's going to respond. You know, from the way he's been treating it recently. We know Usyk's a consummate professional. Like, he keeps himself in tip-top condition 24/7. But Tyson Fury doesn't, and I think that's what will be his downfall. So I'm gonna slightly go Usyk. Slightly go for Usyk, yeah. You never know at the weigh-in time. Let's have a look at the weigh-in. I might actually change my mind. Who knows? But for this video, I'm gonna go Usyk again. 2 wins. Right. Enough said. Smash the like button, hit the bell for notifications to get all new latest videos.